Hi everyone, happy Sunday. Um, I'm not quite back to making regular videos yet. However, what I at least want to do for the next few weeks, other than the completed pages video, is basically I've ordered some books from Book Depository and such that are taking their time to get to me, and so I'm just doing like once a week whatever books I get. I'm going to do a flip through just to keep them from piling up. As you can see here, I did also order some single issues from Coloring Heaven that I'm happy to see. So let's show you what I've got. So one thing I wanted to note, we've mentioned it, I think most people know that Book Depository is closing on April 26th. You can put in orders until the 26th at 12 p.m. BST till midday on April 26th. So one of the things I did, I thought this book was part of that collection, but I found this on somebody else's channel and I wish I could remember, but this has not been the week to, and of course I never write it down. And I saw this cute book and I ordered it off Book Depository. Then the Coloring Queen posted a link to books you should buy before Book Depository closes, and I picked up quite a few off that list, and those are hopefully coming this next week. So I'm going to put the link to that blog post from Coloring Queen in the description. Go check it out. Most of them are like Japanese or Korean books that are super easy to find. So and I'm sure they're probably available on Etsy, but it's just so much easier to do it through Book Depository because of course you get free shipping. There was one on that list I could not find, or wasn't listed as available on Book Depository at the time, and I ended up actually ordering that through Amazon. I think it was the Atelier of the Witch Hat, which is a manga or a show or something. I thought the book looked intriguing. Anyway, I'm going to put that link in the description because this is a really good opportunity for some of those Korean or Japanese books that you want to snap up before, I guess, the opportunity ends. This was also one I got from Book Depository. Let me check. I guess what I really should do is just check and make sure it's available. Apologize for that, y'all. It's just been such a tough week. I hemmed and hawed on whether or not I wanted to do this video. Okay, this one's showing is currently available, so you may have to go looking for this one on Etsy. I will post the lettering and I will post the original title. The translated title that Google Translate is giving me is Cat Coloring Book for All Seasons. It says a day you can do anything for 6 cats. So we'll just call it the Cat Coloring Book for All Seasons. And like I said, I wish I could remember whose channel I saw this one on, but it is adorable. It's not as tall as an average size coloring book, but I believe it's a little bit wider. I'm trying to think of something to compare it to. Maybe slightly bigger than the original Kanoko Egusa books. I am not on my game today. I'm just going to go ahead and warn y'all. Not on my game, but I don't want these to pile up. So, but I saw this and it was all cats, and look at all these tiny little things I could color. So this book's really cute. It shows cats in different scenes doing people things, but the art is a lot simpler. It's not super complex. I love that they're chilling here with this little picnic. that one's pure malice out of the group. Like that one's plotting something. Isn't that cute? Oh, I love it. It's reminds me a lot of my cat coloring therapy books that are my absolute favorite books in my collection because they have cats in different scenes. It's got a little more detail to it than this, but it's not overly complicated, and I really like the simplicity. Like they're still adorable images, and they're not overly simple, but like it's just not a super busy page. Love this one where they're in the little tree house. And over here at the fish store where they're all sitting there picking out their fish. Just adorable. I think I'm just going to start putting out just a basic message to anyone that watches my videos is if you ever come across any books, Japanese, Korean, English books that are cats doing people things, like send that recommendation my way because most of the time unless it's like a stock imagery situation or possibly AI, if it has an AI generated look, I'm probably not going to be too much of a fan. But if it's like I love the perspective in this book too. Like here where it's looking, down at the beach. Like I think that's so cool. And she is rocking her her chonky body style in that bikini. Good for her, I say. Good for her. Now, I do not like that the art goes in the crease of the book. Y'all know my feelings about that, but I will survive. I can try to do what I can. Most of these are not double page spreads, so I don't have to worry. Him snorkeling in the glass. Oh, it's so cute. I wish I was trying to figure out who the artist was so I could translate their name accordingly, but maybe they're on the cover. This one I like, but I do wish there was a little, like, something else going on here. But this is a double page spread. I guess I see that now. But yeah, so that one feels just a little bit. I don't know if I'd be brave enough to try to sketch myself. These are just so cute. I like how they're actually putting all the tea in. I love the vibe of them. Like I love the little trios of cats that I see every now and then, like this or the Russian nesting cats. Or I love these little trio, like 3 and 4 images of the cats in different styles and positions. Like I don't know, those are just so fun. What a cute Halloween one. This one's drinking a beer. Because why not? Why not? Even kitties have stressful days and want to unwind after a tough day. I have no idea what those things are next to him. Hmm. That's a little strange. Oh, hugging the penguin. Oh, so precious. Oh my gosh, y'all, this page. This page. This page might become very important to me. Especially with recent events. It's 13 of them. I have ideas for this one. I love that there's all different seasons in this one too. There they are again. I really love the design of these pictures. Like the little, like I said, the little 3 and 4 sets of the cats. I love all the pictures. Like I love this, but instead of a Christmas tree, of course, they have a cat tree. One is living his best life, getting cookie crumbs in the bed, and he just don't care. I feel like I'm the embodiment of that cat right now. Just letting my chubby self be and just snacking. I love that. Love that picture. This is so cute. This is just absolutely adorable. And apologies that it's unavailable in Book Depository now. I probably will be looking at the other books as they come in and checking to see if they're even still available in Book Depository. But I'm going to give you guys that link and you can go look for yourselves today. I'm assuming since they're not restocking a lot of stuff, that's probably going to be the case. So anyway, this is super cute. Hopefully I will put both the original title and if I can find a link to it on Etsy, I'll go look on Etsy. And if I can find a link to it, then, you know, because I know it's tough, like, searching for these types of books on Etsy, because sometimes they have the English translation, sometimes they have the original Japanese or Korean name or Chinese name. So I'll see if I can find a copy of this on Etsy to at least give you guys a head start. So, but this book is precious. I would say this goes up, doesn't quite beat out Cat Coloring Therapy, just because there are some scenes in here that I wish had just a touch more detail, but it's pretty close. I would say it's definitely in my top 5 books. Alright, so I don't have a Coloring Heaven subscription. There for a while, just the postal service being what it was, just trying to get stuff from the UK to the US was difficult. I was waiting a long time for my issues, and I've just got really, I know it doesn't seem that way for all the books I buy, but I've gotten really picky lately, trying to make sure what I buy is something I'm going to actually color in and enjoy, instead of buying just to buy. And so I found I was giving away a lot more of those issues than I was keeping. So I canceled the subscription, and I have been real successful just doing their single issues, and waiting for those to come out. And it's been a while. It's been a while since I've really found one that was just like, oh, absolutely got to have this. But this one was definitely it. So they are celebrating 100 issues of Coloring Heaven, and Kanoko Egusa is their artist for this issue. It is the Enchanted Animal Special. These are 40 new and exclusive designs by Kanoko Egusa. When I saw that, I was just like, you know, like there was just, that was it. I was just too excited about the possibility of new, like, not that I color my Kanoko Egusa books, but the one page I have colored was in a Coloring Heaven magazine, and so I don't know, it's just funny. I know, but anyway, so I wanted to show you guys this. If you're like me, maybe this is the single issue you've been looking for. Cute little bunnies. All kinds of little swans. Geese. Swans. Geese. One or the other. Oh, I love this one. He's so excited about his giant little berry or whatever that thing is. I love the little squirrels with their fluffy ears. There's a flying squirrel. The line art, that's a little different. And I don't know, maybe these are going to be published in a future book. You know, who knows? It doesn't really say in the magazine, but I'm a huge fan of Kanoko Egusa. I saw somebody's already colored this one, and it is beautiful. I normally don't like doing a lot of ocean stuff, but I love this design and this layout. Like, if I was going to do something ocean related, this would be a page I'd be drawn to. All those birds. They're waiting on the mail. Like, can you imagine being the mailman and trying to come up to that and seeing that pile of birds right there? Are they attack birds? Well, they're there, so in America that the UPS and FedEx people don't use the U.S. mail because they're not supposed to. So they're like attack birds, right? The U.S. Postal Service has, you know, created a budget for this, and this is their plan for keeping people from tampering with your mailbox. Oh, y'all, this picture. Just so many things. You've got just the regular nature kind of aspect, but then you've got this cute little kind of fantasy aspect here. These little fairies. I love this picture. And he's yawning. I do like some of the fantasy aspects in this one. I love the pattern around that. Most of the time you just get that circle and nothing else, but honestly I really like that pattern around it with the stripes and all the different animals. I like that style. That would be cool to see in a book, is something with that kind of background. I think that works really well. Oh my gosh. These are really tugging on me. These ones with the cats. And then I bought a whole cat related book. Oh, this one. This one is amazing. Dressed up in their Sunday best, I suppose, out and about in the garden with their little squirrel friend. None of them seem too thrilled about being dressed. The bird seems pretty happy with his hat, though. Oh, there's so many cats in this one. I didn't even know that, guys. I hadn't even seen a flip through of this one. And I normally do not buy books sight unseen unless they're just particular artists. And Kanoko Egusa is one of them. Oh, look at that picture. It's so cute. He's so unhappy to be there. She dragged him to the market. I see what happened. They got all dressed to go to the market, and he did not want to go. He wanted to just stay at home and relax, and now he's just sitting there pouting because he just didn't want to be there. Me too, my dude. Me too. cute little chef frogs. I love the way he's got his legs crossed and his hands. He's making gestures with his hands. That look says anyone who dare disturbs me right now with all my treats right here in front of me, anyone who dare disturbs me will feel my wrath. Like, he is just about eyes rolled in the back of his head. Like, he is so happy. There's some little bunnies. Oh, I love that circus one. That's fun. Oh, I love these themed pages with like the long oval shapes here with all the different objects. I am loving that. This is the funnest page ever. Owls are learning like astronomy, and the cats are on a, I'm assuming, flying teacup, scandalized by what they see inside. It looks like he's having trouble keeping everybody's attention anyway. Look at that. At one, it's got his head turned to the side. Oh my god. I'm sure, like, there's got to be a story behind this, right? Like, if not, I feel like I could make up one. That's got cats and owls and a mouse in it. Every time I turn a page, like I said, I have not even flipped through this. Every time I turn a page, I think I have found my favorite picture in here, and it just never disappoints. And here is another awesome Easter themed picture with the angry little chicks in their little outfits. They don't look too happy that the eggs are being sailed off. I love the sassy look of some of these animals. Like this llama is looking pretty sassy. I'm loving that. I'm seeing a lot of this where they're taking like ocean animals and putting them in the sky or in space, and I'm loving this, right? Like, I feel like that is just such a cool interpretation of these pictures. There he is. Why does he look suspicious of everything? Like, that cat has been through some things. He just looks suspicious in every picture. Oh, there he is. Okay, so now they're trying to get directions, I think is what's happening. They got their invitation. Now they're trying to get directions. That would be a cute fall picture. Very pretty forest scene there. Oh, there's that. There's that again with that oval shape. I could see a book of just those. I mean, you can't really call it, I'm not sure what that style is called. Like, they're not really mandalas, right? But they're kind of like wreaths almost, but I don't know how else to explain them. Animals doing people things, y'all. Just every time. It is prodding at that one tiny little ball of serotonin that has remained in my brain. This one, this is poking at it. Like, do something. I'm trying. And there he is again, just looking. Like, he's like, oh, this is not what I signed up for. Oh, I love that. I love that so much. The old Persian cat. I think it's a Persian cat. It's the king. Oh, did they get awards? Is that what's happening? Very cool. That must be the queen. Kind of looks like that. Put her on a teapot. Oh, these are so precious. No, I just, like I said, they have made me smile in a week where there just haven't been a lot of smiles, and so I appreciate that. Oh, love these. Would be great winter Christmas themed pictures. They're off in their sleigh. Now they're settling in under the tree. There he is looking suspicious again. See, he doesn't know about any of this. He must be the nervous one. He's the Leroy of the group. Just always anxious about everything. All new stuff. He's like, I don't know about this. So I guess he's the Leroy of the group. Well, that is very cute. I was waiting for that to actually go live on their site. I had seen a preview in their Facebook group. Since I'm not signed up with a subscription or anything, I can't see like full previews or anything, but I saw people talking about it and who the artist was going to be. And I think generally they shouldn't do that, but that one slipped out. So I just knew as soon as was it? It wasn't last Tuesday. There's no way. It had to be the Tuesday before that. It got here relatively quickly. Both of these did, because I believe it was like not last Tuesday, but the Tuesday before I ordered it. So these got here like super quick. I'm pretty impressed. So while I was there, I did go ahead and peruse around some of their issues just because I haven't bought any in a while. Particularly in their collections. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't anything new, generally cat related, but I saw this one though. This one's birds with designs from Coco, and I do love me some birds, and I love Coco and the art that they put out, so I picked this one up as well, and I'm super excited. I saw this owl on the cover, and y'all know how much I love owls. I do love all these animals. My problem is I want to color them correctly, and I really get stressed out over trying to color them correctly. Looks like there is a sister magazine. Coloring Heaven's Mindful Mandalas. So it looks like they are starting a series of just mandala specific publications, which is pretty cool. There might be one or two of those that I have some interest in. So we have this glorious specimen here. They give us the names. Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. They give us the names of the birds, so I'm grateful for that. And one of the reasons I don't buy Coloring Heaven magazines very quickly is sometimes the art, when they, I guess, have to make it fit the Coloring Heaven size pages, like sometimes that causes some weird cutoffs, where you would assume this would go the full length of the page, but like it cuts off here just because of the ratio of the image. They're, maybe resizing it to make it fit this longer page. And that doesn't bother me too much, but there are some books that I have, like, that the proportions just look, the way they had to resize it, like, there's weird blocks of white spacing on the pages, and I don't particularly like that. Like, I feel like if you're going to be an artist in these books, it should be, it should be able to like resize the images appropriately, but obviously they're not going to go in and edit these images. But it is something to keep in mind that sometimes the ratios can be a little off. Like here again, you have a pretty big cutoff. Like what I would probably do is just draw in a line. I've seen a lot of people actually draw in the border, and that would be the easy fix, right? Like if that's the case, just draw in the border on the art, like add a border to it. I would rather them do that than this white space gap. But I guess if they leave it this way, it gives people options. They can make a border, they can use washi tape, they can do whatever they want. I love this picture. But that's what my way around it's going to be is I'm probably going to draw a border as best I can, as straight as I can. Now these probably come from different books of theirs, so sometimes the line art's a little bit darker, a little bit different. But I am totally cool with that. I like their line art is never super pencil thin, and so I dig it. It seems to be what I mostly gravitate to. There's still, you know, quite a few books that have the thinner line art that I will buy, but I've noticed, unless there's a very specific reason, 9 times out of 10 I prefer books that have heavier line art on them. Or I will draw it in myself. I've done that too, using like a Pitt pen. So like I find that micron pens do really good with like the thinner line art. Like if there's an open space and you want to create a line to create, you know, some definition between like a wall and a floor or something, or if you want to, like there's a line missing or something you want to add in, the micron 3 usually works pretty well for like the standard thinner type line art. And then if I really want a nice thick line like this, I will use the Pitt pastel brush pens, which are here somewhere. Well, I guess a Tombow would work too, but I use the water-based, well, India ink, I guess. There it is. I'll use this, which is the brush. I use the heck out of these, like heckin' lot. I use these to outline in my Disney books, all the black areas, because they don't bleed through. I actually use them to outline in the new Cats in Secret Places, Mystical Cats in Secret Places book that I got that I'm working on. But yeah, definitely I've drawn some borders here, but that's okay. This one's not as bad. Like I said, these were more made for, you know, like the Amazon printed books are not quite as tall as Coloring Heaven, so that's why you're getting that white space. But I do appreciate that they made the image, you know, still made it page sized instead of just making it smaller. Do love me some birds. Cats love them some birds. We are having a problem with barn sparrows. When I first moved into this house, the porch, the front porch, it runs the whole length of the house. It's an old farmhouse. The barn sparrows like to build nests in the top corners of the porch, and you know, I did some research, and barn sparrows are good birds to have. Like really good at, like, you know, eating bugs and other things you don't want around. So like every year I would say I'd come up with something to keep them from building nests there, and every year they would build nests, and then they would stay because I would not want to touch the nests once they're having their babies. And but every time I come out of the porch, they dive bomb me because it was hard for me to get on the porch while they were building the nest. So then when we screened in the porch, I felt bad because that took away from their nest building. And so we've put a couple of things out there that they could build nests in. They've completely ignored them. They've went to building nests in the gutters. And when I tell you, the sound of birds falling down a gutter right now is one of the worst sounds ever. On the front, we've managed to get them out and, you know, them survive and stuff, but they will then fill up the gutter with nests. And so we are looking at a more permanent solution to keep them out. We have bird spikes, however, those require gluing them into the gutter, and our gutters, they aren't super brand new, but they're not old either, probably within the last 10 years or something. So like, I don't want to glue anything in there. We are looking at a gutter guard system that snaps over the top of the gutter and just keeps like leaves and stuff and birds from getting into the actual gutter. And it's a little expensive, but it would be so much easier to install, and it would hold up long term because it's like aluminum or whatever. I bought a sample pack for us to make sure we get the right size, and now we can't find it, so now I gotta the other sample will get here Monday. But we're going to put the sample right over the worst gutter, because they do them at the end of the gutters. There's this one at the end of the gutter section that they just will not stop building on, and so we're going to put that one there. Now, will they build nests on top of it? Probably. And I hate that for them. I hope they will realize it is a futile exercise. But other than putting like shiny reflection things up, which I may do too, a couple things I can think of, like, I'm just trying to keep them from falling down the gutter and not meeting a fun end. So they're just not that bright. And like I said, those nests that are out there, like, I don't know, you know, maybe I could, I saw somebody the other day on Instagram that like they brush their cats and then they take one of those, and we have one of those cake, like where you get the little birdseed cake feeders, and they stuffed all the fur in the feeder and like hung it outside so the birds would have it for their nest building. And I thought that was such a neat idea. And so maybe I can put some of the cat fur in the bird's nest, and maybe that'll entice them to at least check them out. I don't know. I'm not super familiar with how to do this, so I'm just, you know, making my best guess. And we've spent almost 40 minutes doing this. I apologize for being so slow today. But so I wanted to give a life update, but I wanted to wait till the end, because some people are just here for the flips, and that's okay. I totally get it. I'm a bit of a downer lately, so some people just can't handle any more sadness in their lives right now. Trust and believe, I know that feeling. So if you need to exit at this point, that's perfectly fine. Or maybe you just here for the coloring books, that's fine. Hope you enjoyed these, and like I said, hopefully I should be back depending on when I get the other books from. I will have the Coloring Queen's recommendations in the description. You have like 3 days basically at this point to get those orders in, and I can't guarantee that they're all going to be available, because again, they're probably just trying to sell out everything they have. So I will try to find an Etsy link for this book as well. And I don't know, I might try to find Etsy links for the rest as well. I might check them. I don't know. It's not like I'm doing anything else today. Yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed these, and I'll be back with more books next week. So yeah, if you need to go, totally get it. Thanks for dropping by. For those of you that are curious, because I tend to overshare a lot on this channel, and that's okay. But like I said, I have felt a lot, like pretty much a big downer lately. Like, I wouldn't want to be around me right now if I could help it. Trust and believe. I'm sure you've seen the Instagram post or the YouTube post, community post, but if you haven't, Scamper passed away a week ago, last Friday, and it was sudden. We knew she had terminal cancer in her stomach, and she was having some spine, losing bone loss in her spine because of that. They also suspected there was probably another tumor on her spine, but the vet was pretty, she acted like it wasn't anything different. She was just a little wobbly, basically. Like, she ate, once we got like her pain meds and everything figured out. I tell you what, she's probably had this cancer for well over a year, and in that time, that cat never, once she would not eat there, and that was the first thing that started all this, was worrying because she wouldn't eat. And we all initially attributed it to severe arthritis in her backside area, her back and her legs and stuff. So once we figured out pain meds like gabapentin and stuff, but it turns out it was also her stomach that was causing her pain. And of course we didn't find that out till February. But once we got that figured, the biggest thing she's ever showed, as she has an issue with, is not wanting to eat. And once I got her medication figured out, that cat has eaten like a champ. Like, she's had such a good last 4 or 5 months of eating. She had even gained weight. She had went to the vet the Monday before last, and then we had to go back on Friday. Like, they had just taken x-rays and stuff over on Monday. Like, there was no indication that it was going to be days left. And she'd even gained weight at that visit. Like, what cat gains weight when they have cancer? The vet was rather impressed. So, other than just regular old cat grumpies, during this whole time, she never once acted like she was miserable, she was in pain, that she was on, because we had figured out the pain meds and stuff. Like, she just acted normal. She would just hop up on stuff, she would eat, she would get up on the desk all the time wanting treats. Like, she would get my husband's, she just acted like every day was just a normal day. And even when she started getting wobbly because of that bone loss, and I knew that had to be causing a little more pain, like, she didn't let it slow her down at all. I was more worried she was going to fall off than she was. Like, if I had tried to keep her from jumping up on stuff, she would have hurt herself trying to get past my blockages. Like, she was still getting in the top of the closet, like, at the beginning of the week. It was just that cat fought harder than any other cat I've had. I mean, she just went so long, and it wasn't until those last few hours that she was just genuinely like, I'm in pain, I can't handle this. And it was sudden. It was unexpected, and like, she had a great morning, she was fine one minute and not the next. So, and that's about as far as I can go right now. I mean, I guess in the grand scheme of things, we should all be so lucky if we have a quick end like that, right, rather than it being drug out. But it hit me really hard. It would have hit me really hard regardless, because Sedonia, almost a month to the day, it was the day before the 1 month period of time that we had to take Sedonia in for that as well. And I in 2000, when I first started this channel that summer, we had lost Cal and Felix back to back, and it was pretty much over the course of 2 or 3 months, and that felt quick. And Cal was unexpected. I mean, they both kind of were, but like, we've never had lose cats this quickly back to back, and it has been so hard. And I made an Instagram post yesterday, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to just, I know I don't really have anything to look at right now, I'm sorry. But I just, it's weird, like, I love them both the same, but it's been so interesting to me to see how differently I reacted after Sedonia than after Scamper. And because after Sedonia I was still able to do videos. I kind of needed to, right? Like, I needed some distractions, and like, this time I'm just not ready. Like, I don't mind doing flip throughs, right, because I don't really have to do much on those, but like coloring chats and stuff, I've already told all the people I have buddy colors with this month, though I need to tell Tammy, but I'm sure she's already guessed, because Tammy and I talk a lot, that all my buddy colors, I'm going to need May to catch up on them. So hopefully everybody understands, but I've been able to color a lot, but it's only been color by number and things to distract me. But this past week has been so hard. These past 6, 7 months have been so hard. And it's not just the cats. It's my job. I was so grateful that I found something that was a perfect fit for me after my contract role ended. Like, so grateful. And I'm not going to say the name of the company or anything, but like, their benefits are great, the pay's great, the team I work with is great. There's so many aspects of the job that are really awesome, and it's cool to say you work for. It's cool to me to say I work for a big company, right? Like, they're known to have. It's very hard to get onto this company, so it's like, it's really a boost to my personal, like, hey, you can handle this, you've arrived, look at that, you are and so there were a lot of good things to this, but the past 7 months have been so hard. The hardest period of time, probably ever since I went through my second divorce. I don't think I've had a harder period of time in my life. And my hair was falling out during that time period. I got so stressed out. So, not quite to that stage yet, but sometimes, well, you wonder. But I know that's what I signed up for, that this was it's not an easy cozy job, right? Like, this is a very intense job. There's a lot of stress to it. There's a lot to keep up with. And I if, take everything else out of the equation, and I feel like I could handle that alone. Like, I saw the expectations of this role when I signed up, and I said, okay, that's fine, right? Like, I know it's going to be different, and it has been. And every time I have a big deadline or big thing to meet coming up, I tell myself things will get calmed down in a couple more months, and they never do. And it's been even so much more than I was even led to believe when I started, just in terms of workload, because they had a hiring freeze literally the week after me and my coworker got hired. They have not been able to hire anybody ever since. They've also been laying off people ever since I started. And that's not been helpful either, for my well-being and mentality. And because we can't get anybody else in our group to help handle the workload, it just, like, I can't speak for the rest of my team, but I feel like we all have too much work, and we've been juggling too much work since, like, December. And one of my problems is I have a very big project that's coming out over the course of the next month. I'm going to be working probably as much as I physically can. I'd like to say 60, 70-hour weeks, but I don't know if physically I can do that right now, but I'm going to be working every spare minute I can. And so you're not going to probably hear a lot out of me over the next month anyway, because this has a deadline, needs to be done by the end of May. So I'm burnt out. I'm overworked. I'm with life happening as well. I can't tell you the last time I saw my parents and my brother. My brother's birthday was yesterday, and I've struggled so much this weekend. I was planning to go to my parents' house and hang out with them on Friday night, and I couldn't. Like, I do see my husband because, we live in the same house, and thankfully, because I work from home, I do get to interact with him and the cats during the day, but I'm just not really present here after work hours because I'm exhausted. And, but with Cydonia and Scamper happening, this is not sustainable long term for me already. So I'm giving everything I have to work right now, and it's feel like all I've done for 7 months, and I knew I would have to do that for a period of time, and that's and I guess that was okay. But basically, they have a new policy change at work, and I can't specifically say what it is either, or I won't right now. And it's going to impact me and my team in unimaginable ways if we have to adopt this policy. And there's been all this hemming and hawing over whether we're going to be forced to, and that's caused a lot of stress. That and layoffs, and like when I signed up for this role, there were two big things other than just the job itself that were the reason I wanted this job, and it's like I've not had one of those things, which is job stability. It feels like, and the other thing, this policy change would take it away, and I just don't know if I can handle that. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. There is nothing left of me to give, and I am week one past my first week into this project. There is no time I can take off. I cannot go on a leave of absence right now, because this work has to be done over the next month. So it got so bad over this past week that I've been having a lot of problems with my eyes drying out lately. A lot of burning, a lot of pain, because I'm spending so much time looking at a computer screen. It's one of the reasons I haven't been coloring much, because I'm trying to limit how much I'm staring at something like that in the evenings, just to give my eyes a rest. Like, my lunches are literally me going and laying down the bed for an hour just to close my eyes and rest them. Like, whether I doze or not is one thing, but and then I woke up yesterday and they were just as dry and painful as they are if I'd been staring at the computer for 6 hours again. And it scared me, because I'm like, I cannot permanently screw up my eyesight for this. And so I did almost nothing yesterday. It was a very rough day. And they feel a little better this morning, which was the reason I didn't mind doing this video. But this is pretty much going to be it. I might color a page or two, but I'm going to be trying to just sit there with my eyes closed listening to audiobooks, just trying to rest them. And so, like, my body physically is telling me this is not sustainable. So anyway, so nothing's going to change over the next month, really. I just have to get through it. And so that's why I was saying I'm not ready to talk about Scamper. I don't know when I'll be able to make regular videos again. I may have some decisions to make depending on what this new policy does, and what the ultimate decision is. I may have some decisions to make. Well, I'll have decisions to make, regardless, but like right now it's mostly just taking it a day at a time, and just there's nothing else left of me to give. But so that's why, like I said, it's just been too much for 6 or 7 months. It's just been too much. I'm miserable. Thank goodness that my doctor upped my fibro medication, and they screwed that refill up this week too, so I went without it for a couple of days, which did not help anything. Everything hurt. Like, it just did not help anything. Don't get me started on that. But like, I don't know. Something's gonna have to give over the next over the next 4 to 5 months. Something's gonna have to give, right? Like, I knew I would have to work extra hard the first year just because it's a learning curve, but my year is in September, and if I'm still like this in September, like, I can't do this. It's not good for my health. It's not good. I felt guilty for not spending enough time with my cats, and then I don't hardly see my actual family, or well, not my actual family, but like my parents and my brother. I don't ever see them either. So now it's kind of like, I don't know. It's just my life is encompassed by work, and there is no balance. It is just work and trying to rest so I can work some more. And we're going to have some conversations about that next week, along with this policy, because this policy is not going to make that any better. It's going to make things worse. So, all right, I've talked enough. I just wanted to give you a bit of an update. I have not been keeping up with my coloring planning. I feel like I jinx myself every time I start doing planning and stuff, right? Like it really feels that way. But for those of you that are like, I know there's been, okay, I'm okay. Like I found I can't go in to see a therapist right now because I can't take the time off. However, I do have a virtual option for a therapist. Right now, we're having weekly sessions. They're only 30 minutes, which both she and I do not feel like is enough, but through this program, which is called Talkspace, it's all I can get right now. So I have a therapist I'm talking to. My husband's being super supportive of any decisions that he sees what this is doing to me, and so he's been super supportive. He's been keeping up with the house and everything else because I just haven't had the physical or mental energy to do anything but work. And so he's been super supportive. Like it's fine, right? Like I need some time so desperately at this point, just some time to recover and grieve and just reset. Like I don't know. I don't know if that's a month or 2 months, but I certainly can't take it. Like they have leaves of absences at work, but I cannot take it right now. Like maybe later this summer, but it's definitely not going to be right now. So just everything kind of feels out of my control right now, because I'm waiting on other decisions to do what I need to do, and it makes me angry. It makes me angry that I have to do this, that I can't fully grieve my loss because work is ever so consuming at this point. So I'm kind of resentful about that, and I'm really just angry that I'm even in this crazy position right now. I'm mad over the policy change. I'm mad over a lot of things, and like there's nowhere I can go be angry about it. My husband's sick of hearing it, I'm sure. And there's no way to channel that anger right now. And that's the part I'm really struggling with mostly, is the anger side of this, because it feels so very unfair, and I'm just angry about it. I'm angry that I even am this burnout, and just a lot of anger there, and I don't know what to do with it. Anger is not one of those emotions I can process through coloring, right? That's more anxiety or depression or something. But like anger is a little bit of a different beast, and I don't, short of buying a punching bag, I just don't really know what to do with it. So anyway, all right, enough of that. So just an update. Completed pages, I will try to do that next weekend. It's going to be a lot of color, remember. Again, I'm just going to go ahead and warn y'all. The month started off so well, but I mean, by the first week it was already going awry, and then by the second week we were already off base. But and that's been part of the anger as well, is just I don't have the mental capacity or the time to do the few things I do enjoy, because by the time I get that hour or two a night, basically at this point, my eyes are killing me, and I just can't sit there. All my stuff, computer games, coloring and stuff, requires a lot of focus on a page or on a screen, and I just can't physically do that. I've got to be able to let my eyes rest enough so that I can strain them to death the next day. And I do take frequent breaks. I get up from my computer at least once an hour, and so this is a new development, and I'm going to call the eye doctor Monday. I'm going to see if there's any eye drops they recommend, because there's been a lot of weird recalls on eye drops lately due to like bacteria being found in them, and so I want to make sure whatever I get is prescribed from him rather than something just over the counter. And I don't know, he might ask me to come in. And I know some other people have had similar eye issues, and it's, been something screwy, not just, oh, you just happen to have dry eyes. But I'm hoping, because it's spring and allergies are bothering me too, that yeah, this is a problem, but it's just a temporary one. I'm hoping this is not something that's going to develop long term, because that'll affect everything. All right, thanks. If you've stuck around this whole time, thank you for listening to me ramble. I'm going to go see if there's any more coffee, and then go lay on the couch the rest of the day and just do what I've been doing for 7 months. Just spend the rest of the day trying to gather together enough energy and stamina to get me through the week. So, but thanks guys for watching. I'll be back next weekend, hopefully with some flip throughs and some completed pages, and I might post just some random completed pages to Instagram here and there. So thanks guys, and bye for now.